is to kill them before they reach the end.
Take the Navals, for instance. They've just checked in. Now, they got 24 hours. If they survive that long, we got to send them back. Part of our treaty with the other side. Kind of a Geneva Convention in the war for souls.
Name the person who's
good and bad. You see what I'm saying? Stay tuned. Very fascinating movie. I'm not even close to being done with this, but I'm just freaking writing a thing on the movie Stay Tuned. And, you know, like, yeah. Friggin'. And I'm probably saying some outrageous things and stuff like that. But I mean, like, I'm only 15 minutes and 6 seconds in. This movie's actually, like, really interesting. And I just mainly stopped it to read this thing right here. Friggin', actually, here, let me, let's see. Let me go back a little bit and turn the volume up. Hold on a second.
On a free trial, it's a whole satellite system, over 600 channels.
And actually, hold on.
I hate to leave you, but I really must say, oh, good night, sweetheart.
Wednesdays at 9. 3 Men and Rosemary's Baby.
So, alright, now that you saw that, this is going to make a lot more sense. First channel, 257, and this is at 15 minutes and 6 seconds long in the movie. First channel, 257, 3 men singing to a baby that is in a crib. It looks like a very ominous snake open mouth. You know, try to, like, that's what you're on. I'm awful. Very ominous snake, open mouth, a ghost dressed in black. The baby is actually a creature that hisses and vomits, secretes a fluid. It is called 3 Men and Rosemary's Baby. 3 Wise Men Under the Rose, Rosicrucians, Mary's Baby, Mary Magdalene, because I believe that's, you know, who the Masons and stuff worship. It's not Jesus and stuff, you know, but then, yeah, so 3 Wise Men Under the Rose, colored glass, you know, with Mary's Baby, Jesus. The song goes, I hate to leave you, but I really must say, creature hissing, oh, good night, sweetheart, spits, Wednesday at 9, 3 Men and Rosemary's Baby. Hopefully that isn't a pedophilia reference, or, you know, like I said, that the opposition is smart. And this movie came out in 1992. And there's just, and this is basically about how the devil just comes into our lives, and just using, you know, these things as a way to, like, it's not about being religious, just easier way to try and define things. But I really suggest that y'all watch this movie. Like I said, like, it's taken me friggin' 2 hours to get to, you know, this point, because I wrote a lot, and it's you know, just crazy of, you know, like, I support Kanye West and what he's done. I wonder if I can I mean, this work. So I really support Kanye West and what he's saying, and because it's needs to be said. You know, how is it that people who are supposed to be, like, that underwent genocide are a majority of those in power, through political, banking, entertainment, media, all that? Why is it that so few are actually, like, I mean, it's just crazy, you know, because, and the thing is, we're not allowed to talk about these things because, well, look what happened to Ye. Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's white people are being demonized now, and well, I mean, it's, and sorry, I don't want to get all, into race and stuff, but I kind of, just did that. Because who's, like, what is the most protected group in the entire world? Jews. The Hanukkah. They can't say anything about them, can't question anything. Malcolm X even said it. You can't, actually, hold on a sec.
Anti-Semitic.
You've many of the things that I've read about you, and you've made a mention a couple of times about the Jews and everything, and I'm wondering if you are personally anti-Semitic.
No, how can I be anti-Semitic when the Arabs are half the Muslim world is Semitic? If I was anti-Semitic, I'd be anti-Arab and anti-everything else. No, I think that in this country, there's one mistake that the Jews make. They put themselves in a position where whenever anybody gives an objective analysis of the role that they play, they defend themselves by accusing you of being anti-Semitic. And a Negro is not anti-Semitic when he says that the man who's exploiting him in his community is white, because it is a white man who owns all the stores. Now, is it an accident that these whites who own these stores are Jewish? If it's an accident, then the fact that he says the Jew on the corner is exploiting me isn't an anti-Semitic statement. It's just more descriptive of the man who's exploiting him.
So I hope that helps make my point. All right, like, of where I stand on things. I mean, it's a description. That's all. Excuse me. There's, like I said, how is it that I'm supposedly a minority, and it's like, I can't ask questions about things. Like, none of us can. But it's just like, how is it that, these people, like, who have been victimized and all this crap and whatever, and the thing is that they joke about Hitler, but, we can't joke about Hitler, like, that's anti-Semitic. But freaking Larry David can, put Hitler mustaches on people and stuff. And it's almost like, is that the joke? Like, are they playing? Like, what's the joke that's being played on us? Right? I mean, because look at how many comedians are freaking Semitic. It's alarming amount. It's just, how is it that they're on every single board or whatever else? And the thing is, I say that because freaking Goethe, and that's the, like, we went down to freaking less than 20,000 and stuff. Like, we were, like, Hitler came in and invaded us, and we're displaced, we lost our lands and everything. And because of our ethnic German heritage, when we came over here, everyone thought that we were Nazis and crap. We didn't get a break. And we did almost go extinct. I mean, freaking Gottschee. Goethe. Goethe. I'm still trying, like, I'm not good with the freaking languages and stuff. Not even English. But, just telling you that, there's rules to these people, like, to the powers that be, because it's not only us. And actually, let me just go to another point. Alright, so here's this one skit, and the thing is, how many people actually confess to things? Like, they use these things, like entertainment, because they're able to make a public apology and apologize to the entire world, because they're able to access the world. And so they're able to commit these crimes and tell people exactly what they do. And, hey, they're being celebrated, because hey, that's a funny joke. Oh, but it's true.
Yes. This is Cecily Barr. Your husband's name was Stephen Barr.
Was. Turning up.
Did your husband drive a 1978 Chevrolet Impala?
What do you say? Hey, something happened to my Stephen? Tell me.
Now watch your reaction to the bad news.
I'm afraid so.
I think it's time for Mrs. Barth to be let in on the fun. Don't you?
Mrs. Barth, look across the street at that van behind me. Look really careful.
Is that,
It's a camera, yes.
when... You mean...
Yes, Mrs. Barth. You're on.
Statistic hidden video? You're Bob. You're Bob. I'm on TV. Oh, God.
Dish needs adjusted.
And just so you don't have to smuggle him
Dish
up.
needs adjusted.
Gotta improve the reception.
Yeah? Oh, yeah, right? Well, how's this? You receiving this? Are you getting this?
What are you doing? Will you stop it?
I am leaving you, Roy.
What?
I want a man who'd rather touch me than his remote control.
Please hang on a second. Listen, we have to talk.
Oh, it's too late to talk, Roy.
Excuse me. I wonder, like, I should really try doing a live stream, you know, over this and stuff, and like some other movies and breaking down. Because, like, I know that there's like a lot of other people out there who see the same shit that I see, and it's just like, man, you know, how do we get it out there? You know, like, it's just information, man. I mean, they tell us everything that they're doing to us. You know, and who's behind it? That's the thing, is that, like, once you see who's doing it, oh shit. You know, and it's like, and the thing is that, well, let's get to this.
Fasten your seatbelts, folks. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
And welcome back to...
You see? They tell us exactly freaking what it's all fucking show to them. It's all fucking show to them. No matter how much money we make, they make more. And when I say they, I'm not talking about the Semites. I'm talking about the powers that be, because there's a whole echelon of them, you know, and it goes into greater factions of these clubs, these orders, these. Why can't I think? I mean, basically like the Masons, and shit like that. Like, and the Skull Bones, like all those, you know, type of things. Because, oh yeah, you know, like there's people that, you know, fluff it up and stuff. Oh yeah, that's just a college thing, or yeah, you know, freaking, it's just guys getting together and networking and whatever else, you know, and they just, you know, do real performances. They don't. But the thing is that people get selected from those groups too. It's selection. There's a lot of selection, just like elections. It's selections. And when people install freaking, you know, satellite dishes and whatever else, freaking, when I went to Mason Lodge down in Colonial Beach, Virginia, freaking, one of the guys worked for ADT, offered me a job and stuff, and it's like, you know, and I was trying to actually get in, but because I wasn't in Virginia long enough, what do you call it? Like, I moved back here and I needed to be here, you know, longer. But, anyways, trying to get in to see what's going on and, yeah, breaking down. But, anyways, I mean, I was able to have lunch with or dinner with the guys and stuff. Like that's a whole different topic, but just knowing these things and how they have access, and a lot of them are like Freemasons, are law enforcement, in the army, or military armed services and such, and so just seeing their symbology, kind of everywhere, and just like there's no coincidences. I digress.
Now let's welcome our new contestants, Roy and Helen Nemo. Do you know the rules of our game?
What game?
What? The game with these great prizes, Jay.
Feast your eyes on this. The all-new Napa Crapper 9000.
Napa
You'll
Crapper.
never have to get off your fat, lazy butt again. The Napa Crapper has every amenity. A built-in color TV. It adjusts to you so you don't have to move. No more trips to the kitchen during commercials. Better yet, no more annoying trips to...
You see, they just want to keep us in our chairs. They don't want us to move about. They don't want us to have lives. They want us to relish in their lives.
The bathroom. Your television viewing never has to be interrupted. And of course, win or lose, every contestant takes home a set of Encyclopedia Satanica. And now it's time to...
Encyclopedia Satanica. Very important reference, because this movie was filmed in 1992, or it came out in 1992. What was the search engine back then? Encyclopedias.
play. You can win. Back to you guys.
Dictionaries.
First question's for you. On your last wedding anniversary, you missed the romantic dinner your wife had planned. The reason? A, car trouble. B, you were running a marathon. C, you were in a bar, swilling beer, watching World Series.
It's car trouble, just like I said.
No! Helen, can you take it?
Wait.
You were watching baseball?
That's right!
Trust me, babe, you lucked into the right place. Very cushy down here. I mean, you can cool your heels in here for the rest of eternity. If you...
Oops. What do we see in this picture? I want to go back a little bit. Did I go back?
Trust me, babe, you lucked into the right place. Very cushy down here. I mean, you can cool your heels in here for the rest of eternity. If you kiss the right ass. And let me tell you, these lips ain't calloused for nothing.
Some kind of comedian?
I went something for Liberace in Vegas.
Great.
This is the Jumbotron. Beauty, isn't it? It's got all the bells and whistles. This is our official scoreboard. Keeps track of the SBIs, souls, batted in. Kind of a sport.
Friggin', pardon.
This is the Jumbotron. Beauty, isn't it?
Sorry.
It's got all the bells and whistles. This is our official scoreboard. Keeps track of the SBIs, souls, batted in. Kind of a sports thing.
Time for the Seidenbaums. Punch him up. The Seidenbaums. Yearning for exotic locales. This episode takes them to Tokyo. They're having a wonderful time, starring in their own movie. It's the Seidenbaums versus the gigantic snake-footed lizard! Boom!
Accident on the set. Oops. See how easy it is for people to disappear?
Sayonara, Mrs. Seidenbaum.
Be trafficked.
That's entertainment.
Oh, he's good. He's so good. Shocking. Sir, this is Pierce, our new intern.
Mr. Pierce, if you can't stomach the sight of blood...
It's not the blood I find distressing. It's your lack of subtext.
film school graduate?
Yes, sir. USC. I did my thesis on Kurosawa and Spike Lee.
Mr. Pierce, let me educate you about our organization. Here at Hellvision, we've turned the process of soul acquisition
Hellvision
into an entertainment extravaganza, and all for the benefit of one very demanding viewer below.
The boss himself. And I don't mean Springsteen.
He has an enormous appetite for Miss.
What's really interesting, I just noticed, and I might have to watch this part back, is how Equator, I always get them confused. I believe this is Capricorn, this is Cancer. Sine wave, this is the horse parallel, this is the psychic parallel, psychic energy, right here. And we see what I mean. This is the situation. You know, let me just go back because let me just keep it here and we'll play it back and go over again. But that's really interesting. 33-degree parallels. 0, 33, 33. North, south. As above, so below. Checkered board. Checkers. You see, like, he has an enormous appetite for misfortune.
Himself. And I don't mean Springsteen.
He has an enormous appetite for misfortune. It's our job to supply him with an eclectic offering of light amusements. No subject!
Don't go away, Gables. It's time for the final question.
Alright, so you see what I'm saying? And this is PG. Stay tuned. And it tells the story. And you can believe me or not. That's up to you. I mean, the thing is, like, I've been writing on this, and like, I haven't even gone beyond this point because, you know, in a television program, and they're telling us visually what they want us to think. Entertainment, enter, and tain is actually freaking what they used to use back in the day for making mirrors. It was the you had glass and then you put tain on it. Well, so that's actually kind of funny because antennas, right? You know, mirrors, right? Of mentality, government, control mentality. You see? I mean, like, it's just crazy. Friggin', let's see, yeah, like, I don't know, I think I went over this a little long and such, but, I mean, I'm gonna try and, like, do a better breakdown of this too. I might, or, just trying to figure it out, but, the thing is, oh yeah, actually, let me go back to, something here, because who's kissing, like, so, let me bring that back. So, no, not there. Oh, pardon. Man in Black, right?
Murray, get the door. I've just grown out of these trips. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be the great white hunter.
Sorry to disturb you at this hour, Mr. Seidenbaum, but you have been personally selected to receive a most irresistible offer.
He's giving me instructions like I'm still a little boy.
Realized you found Princess Douglas. I'm surprised.
So you see that they're portraying the average, home and stuff. Not exactly a Man in Black vehicle.
Roy, your boring little life is about to become much more exciting.
The trading Babe Ruth to the Yankees and
That was a bad move.
Mr. Nabel.
11:33. And actually, wait, let me just go back to something else. I'll go through that clip too. Hold on, like the seconds of it.
I mean, you're just shutting yourself off from everything and everybody. Are you having problems?
Nothing is by accident, like in these things, right? I mean, like that's, yeah. Anyways.
From all your failures and woes at the touch of your thumb.
Just to make certain that we see, like, he represents evil and such.
Cute place.
You fence!
Oh, I used to.
Duality. Duelers.
Kill anyone? Of course not. Look, Mr.
Spike, at your service.
Alright.
You fence!
Oh, I used to. Kill anyone? Of course not. Look, Mr.
Spike, at your service.
What exactly is it that you're selling?
Attractive, the little woman. You two having difficulties?
Well, I don't see how
I know all about you, Roy. Success. It's like a fly buzzing around your head. You reach for it, you grab it, and all you get is nothing. You're tired of nothing, Roy. And so you just want to hide from everything in here. But she gives you hate, right? Roy, wait till she gets a load of this. 666 channels of heart-pounding, skull-blasting entertainment. Comedy, drama, hot oil aerobics like nothing you've ever seen.
Sex. I mean, TV's the drug. Like, and hey, this is gonna make you the man. Like this is a con man, confidence man. But con, against man, one of our own, right?
Brother, unlimited entertainment snatched from the ether and slammed into your brand new 44-inch, 900-line resolution, 3-way expanded matrix Dolby.
44-inch, 3-way, like freaking, or 900-line resolution, 3-way expanded matrix. Expanded matrix. Like
Stereo TV, right?
3-way, 3-dimensional.
Here, Roy. A new TV? Straight from the temple of high-tech. Make this thing
Black
look like
boxes.
a some people would give their souls for a system like this, figuratively speaking. We're just saying here, and we're in business.
And I'm going somewhere with this.
I can't.
But just remember this point right here.
All right.
So,
Good night, Mr. Nabel.
making things a little bit easier. A cross? Those are American flags. Right? So, and there's no mistakes. There's no mistakes, continuity and such. They're thinking, like, these are all performances, rituals.
I mentioned, free trial. Free?
The devil cheated. You can't cheat, there's rules. And we see that's the portal. Let's just get to the next one. Oh, actually, here.
We'll be in touch.
No. Oops.
Well, Roy, all set for the TV adventure of a lifetime. Now remember, you'll have to adjust the dish to fine-tune reception, like this.
The storm.
Enjoy your new system, Roy. We'll be in touch.
Hey, that was a dead end.
That was a dead end. It's like he just cheated on his wife, but he didn't really cheat. It's a free trial.
Hi.
Ho, ho, ho. So they're going to hell. I've never. Why is that in the background? And it's checkered. Because Masons love their checkers. And just look at those lights. They're just blinking all radically. Is it a code? It possibly could be. Excuse me. But I can't go that far because I'm not really too certain. I mean, it could be Morse code or something. It could be friggin' binary. I'm not too certain. But now I'm going to show you, go back to that contract thing. I think this is the one.
I believe that they gave me a raw deal because this fucking industry is a monster. It's the same monster that these Me Too bitches was trying to tell you about. But they hate the monster for how it fucks. And I hate that monster for how it eats. But my God, man, it's the same monster. When I quit the show, all my friends would say, well, fuck them, Dave. Why don't you just do Chappelle's show at another network? Yeah. And why doesn't a slave run from one plantation to another plantation because the master over there might be nicer?
Hold on a second.
Do you know why Prince, the famous rock star that was a friend of mine, do you know why he called himself the artist when he came back? He calls himself the artist because that's what they call us in our contracts. Oh, these contracts are crazy. You should hear the terminology they say in these contracts. To use your name and likeness in perpetuity throughout the universe. Who the fuck could possibly know what that means? Nobody does. It's so complicated, in fact, that when you're a kid like me, you have to hire somebody to tell you what that means. And you sit down at a table and you do the contract game. And that's how I got with Comedy Central. I signed the contract. But I signed the contract the way that a 28-year-old expectant father that was broke signs a contract. I was desperate. I needed a way out. And it wasn't good money and it wasn't good circumstances. But what else am I going to do, I said. And all these white people sitting at that table told me, trust us, Dave, it's a good contract. And I looked around the table and they all seemed to agree it was a good contract. But what if it was like that game of three-card Monte? What if they were all friends and I didn't know it?
Watch it.
And the bag of money was Iceberg's money in the first place. What was I talking about? What was I trying to tell you? Last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, I call Lauren Michaels and I tell him, okay, I'll do it. I'll do Saturday Night Live on election night. And the day I made that phone call, the day I committed to it,
it gets announced that Netflix is streaming Chappelle's show. Not just Netflix. HBO Max is streaming it too. I'll tell you another story about HBO. No,
don't clap them.
Did you know, before Chappelle's show was at Comedy Central, I pitched that show to HBO. I told them what I wanted to do. Now, these are executives. All they have to do is say, yeah, we'll take it, or no, thank you, we won't. But they didn't say either of those things. They went too far. They said, literally, what do we need you for? That's what they told me. As they kicked me out of the office. What do we need you for? And here we are, all these years later, and they're streaming the very show that I was pitching to them. So I'm asking them, what do you need me for?
Excuse me. He's gone through hell.
People think I made a lot of money for Chappelle's show. When I left that show, I never got paid. They didn't have to pay me because I signed the contract. But is that right? I found out that these people were streaming my work, and they never had to ask me, or they never had to tell me. Perfectly legal because I signed the contract. But is that right? I didn't think so either. That's why I like working for Netflix. I like working for Netflix because when all those bad things happened to me, that company didn't even exist. And when I found out they were streaming Chappelle's show, I was furious. How could they not know? So you know what I did? I called them and I told them that this makes me feel bad. And do you want to know what they did? They agreed that they would take it off their platform just so I could feel better. That's why I fuck with Netflix. Because they pay me my money, they do what they say they're gonna do, and they went above and beyond what you could expect from a businessman. They did something just because they thought that I might think that they were wrong. And I do. I think if you are fucking streaming that show, you're fencing stolen goods. They stole that from me.
So, yeah, hold on a second. Now maybe people can see what I'm talking about. Like, and I do know what I'm talking about. I'm not making things up. I can link things together. Alright? I know who the Wizard of Oz is. Well, I don't know. But the thing is, I know freaking who's protecting them. And it's not just the Semites. It's anyone that's playing that fucking game. It's just being ran by the bad Semites, I guess. Like, as Malcolm X was saying, there's no other way around it. And P.S. Aren't all crimes against someone else shouldn't they all be considered hate crimes? Yeah, that's what I thought too. Defining you get more punishment because of freaking. Well, I don't know. Like, this person is. It's not freaking. Like, I mean, specifically, like, attacking someone because of, certain things. Like, well, that's just beliefs. Like, a person's ritualistic practices. And I'm not saying that all rituals are bad, Brushing your teeth, like brushing one's teeth, taking a shower, pooping, peeing, those are rituals that we all perform. Or hygiene and stuff. Like, that's a ritual. There you go. Like, routines. Right? But I digress. I really hope this helps pull back the, pulls the blinders off, like opens one's mind to see like how long has this been going on, and just going back to actually let me finish this off real quick. Oops.
No more trips to the kitchen during commercials. Better yet, no more annoying trips.
That's the way to think of us. And friggin' batteries. Psychic batteries.
To the bathroom, your television viewing.
And now, with everything I just showed, we're going to watch this one again, and I'll show you what I see.
Very cushy down here. I mean, you can cool your heels in here.
I see freaking an executive of the Semitic Orient bringing a young graduate underneath to the underground to show people, show him how it actually works. And this is 1992. For what was, what started happening. For East Side, West Side. Friggin' Tupac Notorious. Friggin', like I said, the cultural influences. Look at Professor Griff. Alright? Like, freaking, here's a guy that, obviously, like, this intern, is obviously smart, like, paid his due, he's not from the hood. But the thing is, he is can help with that demographic in order to bring more of his culture, ethnicity to the table. Diversity. Freaking, who was, like, and that's the damn thing, is like, why were, why have ethnic groups been, aside from the Semites, been away from, like, there's not enough diversification. But now it is, because, well, it wasn't about equal rights and everything like that, or else the powers that be would actually be doing something about that and using this power for good instead of their own personal greed. And that's an unfortunate thing, is that they're not doing that. They're not doing that. They're using they're not helping us. They're using this technology against us, and they're using Operation Mockingbird and MK Ultra, sociology, psychology. There's a lot that goes into this stuff. That's why I'm all over the place, because it's like, it's hard to, like, while I'm trying to paint a picture of things, and I don't know, like, everyone's understanding, so, and I'm trying to make things connect, because that's how I remember things, is through connection.
For the rest of eternity, if you kiss the right ass. And let me tell you, these lips ain't calloused for nothing.
Some kind of comedian?
I went shopping for Liberace in Vegas.
Great.
This is the Jumbotron. Beauty, isn't it? It's got all the bells and whistles. This is our official score.
And that's the damn thing, is this guy, he's performing, like, this is like really what happens. This is how it really goes. It's they're in control, and they figure, and they play against each other and stuff, or play, or it's all about control. And like I said, and whose ass is he kissing, and it shows, like, there's a force even greater than the Semites, and that's pretty much what it comes down to, is that it's like, everyone wants to blame them, but it's not, because it's there is like up at those levels, there is a diversification. It's just that certain groups, a certain group is the minority, and he is the minority, or majority. Pardon me. He's the majority, right? But they went through genocide. I'm not being anti-Semitic or whatever else. This may come across that way, but friggin' that's just because people are not seeing what I'm seeing. And the thing is that friggin', he's passing the torch to the next generation and such, and because it's about, it is about uplifting, but at the same time, as we see, souls will be taken in order to lift the chosen.
Time for the Poseidon bombs.
And so,
Some kind of comedian?
I went shopping for Liberace in Vegas.
Great.
This is the Jumbotron. Beauty, isn't it? It's got all the bells and whistles. This is our official scoreboard. Keeps track of the SBI's souls added in. Kind of a...
oh, come on. On the leg.
Time for the Poseidon bombs.
Punch him up. Poseidon bombs. Yearning for exotic locales. This episode takes them to Tokyo. They're having a wonderful time, starring in their own movie. It's Poseidon bombs versus the gigantic stinky-footed lizard!
So what I was just thinking of there is like, oh, you just want a trip to freaking Paris or something like that. Like someone, just won Wheel of Fortune and they, went on a trip. All of a sudden they disappear, and maybe they're, like told, certain things. Oh, wow, and they're seduced outside and people just disappear. Souls taken. It's, this is truly a spiritual war. And the thing is that if people, this doesn't make sense, then they don't understand quantum physics, the quantum realm, and fuck.
The idea that all life is interconnected is an enduring spiritual tradition. Now, one group of scientists think advances in computer technology may help them to prove it exists and react to major events worldwide.
See, this is pretty old footage.
And this computer and the small box attached, codenamed the Egg, might hold the answer.
It was a program that started in about 1979 in the engineering school at Princeton, run by Robert John and managed by Brenda Dunn. I came in 1980 and spent 22 years there before I retired, doing things that
The idea that all life is interconnected is an enduring spiritual tradition. Now, one group of scientists think advances in computer technology may help them to prove it exists and react to major events worldwide. And this computer and the small box attached, codenamed the Egg, might hold the answer.
it was a program that started in about 1979 in the engineering school at Princeton, run by Robert John and managed by Brenda Dunn. I came in 1980 and spent 22 years there before I retired, doing things that sound a little strange to people, but which are actually quite important when we're thinking about consciousness. What happens at the edges of what we know about with consciousness? Is there any real presence of consciousness in the physical world? So we set up experiments to ask that question and got an answer, which is yes. Not a big surprise to people who are interested in spiritual matters, but a terribly difficult thing for most mainstream scientists to accept or themselves take any time really to examine. In 1997, I started doing something which turned into what we now call the Global Consciousness Project, which is looking at the entire world in a way, using the same kind of technology we developed in the lab, but now to look at a kind of non-local consciousness that appears to be a real presence in the world.
For 5 years, Roger Nelson has been running the Global Consciousness Project. He collects data from what are called random event generators. 75 standalone computers have been set up around the world. They produce continuous random combinations of numbers that are sent back to Princeton. Nelson monitors the machines, looking for any unusual deviations in the data.
REG machines, random event generators, are electronic tosses of the coin.
One type of random number generator experiment that's been conducted many, many times, hundreds of times, over the past 4 decades or so, since around the 1960s, has been a random generator that only produces sequences of random bits, zeros and ones, like flipping coins. And you would simply ask somebody to press a button, it would produce 200 bits. And you would ask them to say, well, try to make it produce more 1 bits than 0 bits. And when you take the entire body of literature, all of the hundreds of experiments that have been done, you can ask a single question. Did it matter that people were trying to push it towards ones or push it towards zeros? And the overall answer is yes, it does matter. But somehow intention is correlated with the operation, with the output of these random number generators, such that if you wish for more ones, somehow the generators produce more 1.
A true coin has a 50-50 probability of being heads or tails, and you can't predict it if it's thrown properly. So electronic random number generators do that properly. They flip coins, so to speak, high speed, produce a lot of ones and zeros or a lot of heads and tails, and you cannot predict the sequence at all.
Nelson's machines are as close to pure chance as it's possible to get, so a regular pattern should be very unusual. So when they do show up, the team is convinced that something very extraordinary is happening. Dean Radin from the Institute of Noetic Science worked with the project. He also believes that global consciousness must exist. He set up the network of eggs around the globe and thinks they hold the key to unlocking this mystery.
They called it originally the EGG, for electrogaiagram, which is an analogy to electroencephalogram, the EEG. In other words, we want a bunch of sensors around the brain of the planet to see if we can find patterns in exactly the same way that we look at patterns that go on in the brain.
The aim is to see if human responses to world events can influence their output. Anyone who works closely with machines knows how temperamental they can be. But how can remote computers without operators interact with human minds? Nelson admits he doesn't know how it happens, but he's certain it takes place.
Today, there are over 60 random event generators placed around the world. The numbers that come into the generators during normal random events for global consciousness are just that, random. Several hours in advance of a major world event, non-random, coherent numbers are present. A large spike in the data waveform appears giving a precognition that a major event is about to occur.
If something like Princess Diana's funeral,
Real quick, like intuition. It's picking up on our intuition, like, hey, something just doesn't feel right here. We should leave. And the thing is, it's like, if we leave, then it's just like we're kind of speculating. But if something happens and freaking people survive, it's like, yeah, freaking your intuition was right. We gotta listen to ourselves. We know what we're doing. And if we can just clear out the noise.
was bringing 2 billion people to think about the same thing and maybe feel sadness or compassion together, that we should try to see whether our machines, our random event generators, could detect that, could react to it. So in that particular case, I asked all of my colleagues and friends who did the same kind of research, please take data. We had several lines of data in Europe, several lines of data in this country, put them all together, and remarkably enough, or maybe not so surprising, if you believe the data from the laboratory experiments, we have a big, strong effect. If you did the same thing 100 times, you wouldn't see the size of change in our REG devices that we saw during the time of the funeral for Princess Diana.
The September 6, 1997 funeral of Princess Diana yielded a major signal in the data. Global compassion following tragedy of major world figures or world loss of life yielded the strongest spikes in the data.
New York, September the 11th, 2001. The tragedy unfolding will change the world forever. 50 kilometers away at Princeton University, the gauges of Dr. Roger Nelson's EGG machine are going berserk.
Before the actual crash occurred, before about 9 o'clock, I knew nothing. I was happy-go-lucky. I was writing letters how the world was peaceful, right? Well, the world was not peaceful, and already the data, before I knew anything about it, the data were changing.
On the morning of September the 11th, 2001, as the American Airlines flight left Logan International Airport, the computers appeared to do something extraordinary.
Four days before September 11th, where the eggs were just doing what they normally do, nothing. They were wandering randomly. And then all of a sudden, on September 11th, there's a trend that takes off, which is extremely unusual.
The random event generators began to synchronize, overriding the laws of chance. Could this have been connected to the attacks?
We have now 5 years of data, and on 2 or 3 of the measures, this 9/11 outcome is unique. There's nothing else like it in the database.
News of the catastrophe flashed round the world, and the world stood in shock. Could this surge of emotion explain the mysterious data?
We're focusing our energy, our attention. You see, the power of attention, or the power of thought. Psychic energy. It's proven. It's not freaking. I mean, like, we're still learning it and stuff. But I mean, how long did it take before we understood electricity? Right? Natural laws. And the thing is that some of the original laws, they're obsolete. Yet we're still working with them because people are stuck in a rut, or they're just trying to control the amount of information, the amount of technology, the amount of they're governing ourselves, not just through government and control, mentality. They're not just controlling us from political views. It's because there's politics and workplace politics. They happen everywhere. And the thing is, look at Big Pharma. Look at freaking colleges. I mean, their businesses and stuff. They're like pushing agendas, like their own agendas, because they want to be right, because they're trying to make a profit. Profit. P-R-O-F-I-T? P-R-O-F-H, or P-H, pardon me, P-R-O-P-H-E-T. Profit. Prophesize. Right? Anyways.
Nelson is sure it does.
Human consciousness interacts with the physical world in the form of a random event generator in such ways to change the output. And on 9/11, when the first plane hit, I think that was 8:45 in the morning, the data started changing in an unmistakable way about between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning.
In the case of the September 11th World Trade Center attacks in New York, the REGs measured a warning spike 4 hours in advance of the first plane strike and continued measuring the ensuing events and public reactions. Deep feelings of compassion enveloped the world, and a 50-hour trend ensued in the data, reflecting the profound effects of the event itself. The Global Consciousness Network has scientific data showing similar responses to many world events such as Earth Day and World Healing events. Major earthquakes reflect in the data hours in advance of the actual earthquakes, showing that the global consciousness field is not limited to what human beings directly perceive.
These generators, random event generators, we usually just call them REGs, sometimes RNGs, for random number generators. They're a very standard tool in the armamentarium of psychic researchers. They do a good job. They present a system that's easy to understand, and one in which it's relatively easy to see something that shouldn't be there. That is, if consciousness changes the way the world is, these random event generators constitute a very sensitive way of asking that question. Does my intention to get high numbers result in high numbers? And the answer over years and years of experimentation is that it does. It won't be enough to win at the casinos if they have too big an advantage, but it's real.
When the O.J. Simpson trial was going on, lots of people were watching television because of the courtroom drama that was unfolding. And Radin intuited that there must be a lot of intention going on at the time when the courtroom drama is strong. So he hired a bunch of psychologists who kept track of the courtroom drama. At the same time, Radin was studying the behavior of random number generators. But then Radin found that whenever the intentions were strong in the courtroom, that's when the deviation of these random number generators from randomness becomes very high.
So this is an unusual point in human history, I think, in that people knew far in advance that within a fraction of a second, either saying the words guilty or not guilty, something of very high interest would occur, which would attract hundreds of millions of people live. So I figured, okay, we have to do this as an experiment then. I had 3 random number generators running in my lab, and I asked a colleague to run a generator in Amsterdam and another in Princeton. So we ran the generators, afterwards evaluated the results, and sure enough, we saw a spike with odds of 1,000 to 1 actually 2 places. One was when the camera switched from outside the courthouse to inside the chambers. It was like a huge rise of attention, which was reflected in the random generators. And then at the moment that the verdict was read, there was this large spike of coherence in all 5 generators at once. So this was taking an idea that we had seen in the laboratory and scaling it up to the world at large, and it appeared to work.
This leads naturally to wonder, are people affecting the world of reality that they see? You betcha they are. Every single one of us affects the reality that we see, even if we try to hide from that and play victim. We all are doing it.
Modern materialism strips people of the need to feel responsible. And often enough, so does religion. But I think if you take quantum mechanics seriously enough, it puts the responsibility squarely in your lap. In the new view, yes, mathematics can give us something. It gives us the possibilities that all these movements can assume, but it cannot give us the actual experience that I'll be having in my consciousness. I choose that experience. And therefore, literally, I create my own reality. It may sound like a tremendous bombastic claim by some new agey without any understanding of physics whatsoever, but really quantum physics is telling us that.
So this is the human brain as you probably have seen on many occasions, but in actual fact, that's not the real human brain. The human brain is alive, and if you measured it, this is what it would look like. Those flashing patterns you see there are the actual activity of a real brain. We've taken an EEG, quantified it, and we can actually see the activity taking place over the left and right hemispheres. The yellow and the red that you see is effectively what's going on as a person is sitting quietly. There's microstates going on here, being recreated every 20 milliseconds, 50 times a second. There are about 4 basic microstatic patterns, which are the building blocks to consciousness, just like pairs, sets of DNA, or base pairs are the information for the last 3 billion years of genetics. Person's quiet. So the question is, suppose you have had access to information within every other person's brain and they had access to yours. What would happen? Has it happened? Can it happen? And what would it mean for the future of human societies? No more secrets. And tonight, that's exactly what we're talking about. Suppose you had access to the information of every other brain on this planet. No more secrets. Are we all connected? The answer is yes. We are all immersed in the Earth's magnetic field. The human species is about 7 billion conductive brains, all sharing this field. Think of 7 billion wires, all immersed in the Earth's magnetic field. This field contains enough energy to store the experience of every human being who has ever lived. It's an easy calculation. Just think about that. All the information of every human brain that's ever lived has the potential to be stored in the Earth's magnetic field with lots of energy left over.
With that being said, just think about like how like the internet has been weaponized. There have been good, there have been great freaking algorithms out there. I mean, when YouTube, was freaking YouTube and stuff, like, and the algorithm worked for us. Now it's just pushing agendas and putting us in the boxes instead of expanding our intellects. Like that's because YouTube, really is more influential than fucking Facebook to me, in certain extents. I don't know, but look, this is going on for a bit. So, Monochrome, Fox Media, Beyond 2015, 0 point volume, that's 4, Left Hemisphere edition. I mean, honestly, like, friggin', if anyone can find volume 2, I believe it is, if anyone can find volume 2 of this, freaking please put a link in the description, and fuck, and give me your Cash App, because I'll send you $20 too, and it's bar none, because that's an excellent one, and yeah, I love it, and I'll bootleg it if I need to. Anyways, this is a very important one too, and I mean, really, this is what we're going through. And if you followed in my previous video, like, if you follow my previous video to this one, freaking, you're a badass, and I appreciate you. Sorry for being so long-winded. I'm just trying to make some points, and I could have done this whole hell of a lot better. I'm sorry. Just want to get it done, right? And I wasn't trying to fuck around with things. But yeah, I love y'all. Be safe, be kind, stay strong. Happy Thanksgiving. That makes me a racist for saying that, and I'm proud of it. And yeah, fuck the government. Like fuck this organized crime. Like, God bless the United States. God bless the world. God bless the good people of this world. And may all the sinners who have put us through unnecessary grief for their indulgent nature, I do not pity your pain. And I look forward to every thumbtack that goes into one's body. Oh man. Anyways, take care, be safe, be kind, stay strong, love y'all.
The moment, post this interview, post whatever, where it says Kanye, the artist, the human being formerly known as Kanye is no longer the richest black man in America. He's homeless. But just wait 2, 3, 4 years and Terminator, Putin, whatever you want to call it, yay, will be back. And we're going to be back bigger, better, more community than ever. Because all the people that will be afraid of this don't need to be around. Millions of people have had DEFCON 3 on their contract. Millions of people have had DEFCON 3 on their contracts.
Do you know why Prince, he called himself the artist when he came back? He calls himself the artist because that's what they call us in our contracts. Oh, these contracts are crazy. You should hear the terminology they say in these contracts. To use your name and likeness in perpetuity throughout the universe. Who the fuck could possibly know what that means? Nobody does. It's so complicated, in fact, that when you're a kid like me, you have to hire somebody to tell you what that means. And you sit down at a table and you do the contract game. I've even thought about coming back and doing another Chappelle show. Well, but if I do, I can't call it Chappelle Show because my name and likeness is being used by them in perpetuity throughout the universe. It's in the contract.
Are you anti-Semitic?
Anti-Semitic?
You've many of the things that I've read about you, and you've made a mention a couple of times about the Jews and everything, and I'm wondering if you are personally anti-Semitic.
No. How can I be anti-Semitic when the Arabs are half the Muslim world is Semitic? If I was anti-Semitic, I'd be anti-Arab and anti-everything else. No, I think that in this country, there's one mistake that the Jews make. They put themselves in a position where whenever anybody gives an objective analysis of the role that they play, they defend themselves by accusing you of being anti-Semitic. And a Negro is not anti-Semitic when he says that the man who's exploiting him in his community is white, because it is a white man who owns all the stores. Now, is it an accident that these whites who own these stores are Jewish? If it's an accident, then the fact that he says the Jew on the corner is exploiting me isn't an anti-Semitic statement. It's just more descriptive of the man who's exploiting him.
Just in fun, real quick.
Come on out, you rapist!
All right.
Pretty interesting. I didn't realize that I could be considered anti-Semitic till I read one of the definitions of anti-Semitism. Look at this. The definition says, making mendacious, dehumanizing, demonizing, or stereotypical allegations about Jews as such, or the power of Jews as a collective, such as, especially, but not exclusively. This sounds like a unethical. What was that? All right, so it says, think about it, that sounds like the type of wording that's in the contracts, right? Indeed. Okay, it says, such as, especially, but not exclusively, the myth about a world Jewish conspiracy or of Jews controlling the media, economy, government, or other societal institutions.
But isn't that what you said? That Jews run everything?
Yeah, but that actually is considered to be anti-Semitic.
Right.
So I didn't realize that it was anti-Semitic to say, hey, I have a Jewish attorney, I have a Jewish record label, I have a Jewish contractor, I have a
Do you regret your statements? Are the statements you think you should be walking back? I mean, considering...
What do you mean walking back?
Well, backing up off of them. I mean, the thing is, you've lost a lot of endorsements. People are dropping you. You're getting, vilified. I mean, you might think you're right, but I think, there's a whole world out there that's condemning you for what you said.
Okay, so this right here is a chart of Universal Studios, 20th Century Fox, ABC News, CBS News, Columbia Pictures, Warner Brothers, ESPN Sports, Fox News, Washington Post, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, MTV Music Television, Nickelodeon, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, Comedy Central, NBC Entertainment, Google, what else do we have? Disney, ABC Kids and Family, YouTube, Los Angeles Times, Discovery Network, Paramount Pictures, Facebook, Huffington Post, Yahoo, Marvel, Hulu, Cosmopolitan, Time, Touchstone, Associated Press, Pixar, Miramax, HBO, New York Post, LucasArts, MSNBC, DreamWorks Animation. Now, the thing is, I skipped over maybe about 5 of them because it was just unclear on this list. Red are the executives that are Jewish at these companies.
Do you think they stuck together when they heard what you said? Is that what happened?
Well, what I said is, hey, I've had experiences where it felt like I was being teamed up on, and I didn't realize that term would be considered to be anti-Semitic. So I had a mediation with Adidas today, and I think Adidas felt like because everyone else was ganging up on me that they had the right to just take my designs. And I feel like right now, I feel like that was in Christianity. We don't say karma. We say you reap what you sow. And I feel like this is God humbling me right now because there's two things that are happening. A lot of times when I would say, "Oh, I'm the richest black man," it would be a defense that I would use for the mental health conversation. To say, "Oh, you guys say I'm crazy, but look at this, I made money." But that is not godlike to be showing off. So if it's not godlike, then God will take that because it's all the church's money, right? So what's happening right now is I'm being humbled. Another thing that's happening is by me being burned to the flesh every single day, it's actually proving what I had to say. So when I went to the mediation, what I want to say is like black people are like, okay, Lex Friedman got you to apologize, Pierce Morgan got you to apologize to the Jews, but you never apologized to us about the George Floyd comment that made us feel bad. Now the thing is, okay, JFK, they got a lot of documentaries about how it happened. So we can argue about how it happened, which I like the fact that we can do that. But regardless, when I see that video as a black person, it hurts my feelings. And I know that police do attack, and America is generally racist. And I understand that when we got to say Black Lives Matter, that the idea of it made us feel good together as a person.
Amen. It's not like that freaking No Lives Matter and stuff. There's definitely been a problem. There definitely is a problem. But not all cops are bad, and not all white people are against people who are not white. I mean, my best friends aren't white.
As a people, right? When let me say it so the soundbite is better for you guys. When the idea of Black Lives Matter came out, it made us come together as a people. Now afterwards, yes, there were some things where the money went. There were some things where it was used in order to push us to the Democratic vote. There were people behind it involved. That happened, but the general feeling. So when I said that, and I questioned the death of George Floyd, it hurt my people. hurt the black people. So I want to apologize to hurting them, because right now God has shown me by what Adidas is doing and by what the media is doing, I know how it feels to have a knee on my neck now. So I thank you, God, for humbling me and letting me know how it really felt. Because how could the richest black man ever be humbled other than to be made to not be a billionaire in front of everyone off of one comment that actually, if you look at the definition of DEFCON, it means to get extra defense, which obviously I must have needed.
Yeah. DEFCON, Defense Contingency Plan. DEFCON 8. Defense Contingency Plan 8.
I must have needed that extra defense.
Are you worried you ruined your legacy, Kanye?
How? Well, stop. I'm not worried. I'm just not worried, period. God is alive. God runs the world. Amen. You know, God even runs Hollywood. Amen. God is alive. And he's using me right now. He chose me for such a time like this to basically for the media to put their knee on my neck, for Adidas to put their knee on my neck. All I ever wanted at Adidas, I left Nike because Nike wouldn't give me a percentage for my shoes, and I had the Red October, and my girlfriend at the time was pregnant, and I needed to get some money, because if I was the kid that just had the red shoes, I could have never been a black man wearing a red hat. Like Nike would have shut me down immediately, right? Right. But because Adidas was a German company, it gave me a little bit more room to be able to express myself and to actually have a political opinion as an American, that I wasn't forced into a political opinion because of the color of my skin. Now let's talk about the red hat, and let's talk about the similarities to the White Lives Matter t-shirt. The thing about the red hat that drove me to a point of exhaustion, which was misdiagnosed by I'm not going to say what race, what people, doctor, and what hospital, and what media went to. We know I can't say that.
But you said it. We all understand Kanye. Oh, pardon me. The artist formerly known as Kanye West.
It was a Jewish doctor that diagnosed me of having a disorder that would have had me on medication right now. At a time like this, if I was on medication right now, then one pill could have been swapped out and it would be Michael Jackson and Prince all over again. But because I didn't...
Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? Yeah, I don't give a fuck about how crude and rude like my editing skills are. You know, like fucking information is fucking information. If you like it, you'll fucking like. That's what I try to put out there, and you know, unfortunately, I lost my other channel and stuff. But you know, hey, life happens. Life happens. I'm still alive, and they haven't killed me. Freaking.
Take the misdiagnosis, and I didn't take the medication. I'm able to speak to you guys clear of thought and transparently. Now,
clear with thought and transparency, and he's lucid is basically what he's saying. And that's the damn thing, is that the military try putting me on all these medications. The VA try putting me on all these medications. Why? I mean, I would be considered a domestic terrorist, and now all this crap. You see what happens when we go against the system. Right? You see what happens when we go against the system? I relate to Kanye. I relate to Ye because he understands my pain. Because we belong to the same system. In different realms. I mean, we all belong to the same system. And if anyone who understands this information and like that has actually tried speaking out, I've spoken out. Have you spoken out? No. So shut the fuck up. And stop criticizing because you don't know what it takes. You don't know the pain. You don't know the risk. All right? Sit back, enjoy the ride. Not everyone knows it all. Not everyone can be, experienced in it all. Just because you've done research doesn't mean that you lived through it. Other side, besides vicariously. And hey, in the past, we're able to do certain things and stuff like that. The fact of the matter is that a majority of people, friggin' a bomb loader was saying that on Veterans Day was saying that it was all right to kill people. That that's what we need to do. Just drop bombs. And at the same time, he's claiming PTSD because he was. What the fuck did you see freaking being on a fucking tarmac? Oh, possible indirect fire. Okay, yeah, I get that. You weren't. But the thing is, I was actually blown up. And you're going to compare your PTSD to my PTSD? And I've got PTSD because freaking of the damn medical system. God damn. But that's the damn thing is that freaking don't put me in the same box. I can't get the help that I need because there's weak. I get put in the same box as weak people. And at the same time, I'm a strong person, so I get treated like a terrorist. Because, well, lone wolves were bad.
Let me talk about the red hat. Wearing the MAGA hat, the way that Hollywood's political agenda attacked me and put me to a point of exhaustion was death by 1,000 cuts. Everyone would say something to me, from a driver to my ex-wife, to Adidas, everyone would say something. So when I wore that White Lives Matter, I said, I'm not going through this again. I'm not going. Hey, y'all gonna leave me alone about my t-shirt. Because what's the point of having influence and having money and people could come up and just pinch you?
But don't you think having influence, you have a responsibility?
And that's the responsibility that I'm taking right here.
Exactly.
Don't you think that's why you asked that question?
I agree with Ye. Ye is coherent.
But don't you think it's dangerous rhetoric to be anti-Semitic to say all lives matter or white lives matter? No, I'm asking.
I'm saying white lives matter, anti-Semitic. That's what you just asked.
I'm not saying that's anti-Semitic.
No, you just said that though.
No, and I misspoke. But I'm saying to walk around with. I'm trying to correct myself. So I'm saying to walk around with a white lives matter.
Do you want to walk back that statement?
Exactly. Sure, I'll walk.
You got the chance to walk back that statement.
Do you think maybe that?
Freaking Ye is still freaking hard. He's freaking. He got the charisma. He's taking a battery by himself. Who's there with him? He can walk away at any point in time. The thing is, he's taking it aside, and this isn't. I mean, of course, it takes a certain amount of ego. But the thing is that, when people say that, hey, Ye's been defeated, and all of a sudden we see sunshine, and Ye's still here. Freaking let the sun shine.
Saying, you're wearing the White Lives Matter shirt. And Black Lives Matter, and a lot of people think that you're being anti-black by saying that.
No, how?
What?
What you mean let him talk, bro? In America, black people don't take all the rights that we have that are actually given to us.
That's true.
Because we weren't given what we were promised in the first place, which was the 40 acres. Instead, we were given...
And a mule.
And a mule. Instead, we were given projects and bad food and posters of Oprah Winfrey. And also Planned Parenthood. People said to me multiple times, visit the Holocaust Museum. I said, visit our Holocaust Museum. It's called Planned Parenthood. 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust, and I am sorry for your losses. 20 million blacks died to abortion, and Planned Parenthood was made by Margaret Sanger with the real KKK. I like it.
Sorry about that.
As population control. Margaret Sanger is a eugenics and is working today. The number one cause of death for black people in America is abortion. The most dangerous place for a black man today, or a black baby, black woman, is in their mother's stomach. And that is a programming that's pushed through. I got a new word for 2024. The red media. That is the red media. If you go to Apple right now, go to Apple Music. Let's load up the top 10 songs. I guarantee you they're promoting black serial killing.
Absolutely.
Not just one. They're promoting black. The red media is making money off of blacks being serial killers to each other. Also misogynistic. The red media is making money off of that. And God sees it. But I understand, and I'm not judging because the oppressed becomes the oppressor. And it is our time now. Blacks are coming into money. We are not scared anymore. And I showed you that I crossed that line. They tried to bankrupt me. They tried to say I was crazy, and I'm alive. We haven't had a full black community since the gentrification of Harlem and Black Wall Street, which was torn down. But I know my brothers, my engineers, my architects, my farmers are gonna rise up. And if it meant they had to take me and drag me like Emmett Till in front of everyone because I whistled, I know my brothers, my engineers, and I have no reason to lie. My family was taken away from me. My reputation has been smeared. I get it. So let's close with a prayer. Father God, thank you. Thank you for keeping me alive. Thank you for the voice. Thank you for the clarity. Thank you for the experience. And thank you for the love. Because even though the real hate is what's happening on the media, and the idea of DEF CON was to get protected for a time like this, let's lead with love. I have no association to any hate group. If any hate happens upon any Jewish person, it is not associated, because I am demanding that everyone walk in love. Even though there's been things that have happened wrong to me that made me want to speak up, that you guys saw in the past 2 weeks. You saw the power. You saw Ari Emanuel come out in public and ask, if that happened in public, what do you think happened in private? And what do you think happened in private to so many people for so many years? But what I'm telling everyone, no matter what background you are, no matter what socioeconomic class you are, walk with love right now. Do what God would want. What would Jesus do? Walk with love, spread happiness. I thought that I wasn't gonna be like MLK and stand there. There's times I felt very Malcolm X. But for some reason, God has called me to love and to ask for love. For everyone, it's time for us just to love, because love is the answer. It is the only way. Gandhi said, someone who was actually considered to be a racist, right? Gandhi said, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. Jesus, Father God, spread the love. Put the love in our hearts, and know that we are not each other's enemy, but we're all children of you. And you can bring this world to a peaceful place on earth as it is in heaven. In Jesus' name, amen. Love you guys. Good night.
I'll be honest, I forgot what I was even going on about. Friggin', I didn't see the full interview. Like, that was the first time, like, I saw that just with y'all. And he's on point. And friggin', If you can't tell, like, my plug is a little bit wonky. Like, friggin' it's loose. But it's just kind of crazy how, I mean, it's at 18 now, but it was flashing at 17 and stuff. Like, because it wiggles. But, you know, it has all been about love. It's come time to burn the red strings. It's I mean, Harvey Weinstein, how many people did he victimize? And how many that he got away with? Right? Matt, who would fuck that slob for a job? That's why he had to rape. And fucking Epstein. Weinstein, Epstein. There's a lot of questions that need answered. All I can say is follow one's intuition. We all know what's right. Don't do what's easy. At the very least, just don't hurt anyone in the process of our living. And unfortunately, that's what people do. And emotional scars are worse than physical scars. I know that sounds, kind of, trauma to the body, hey, but walking with that pain, what caused that pain is the emotions. We're reminded all the time. Alright, so, let me just send it here. Love you all. Take care, be safe, be kind, stay strong. Happy Thanksgiving. And I think I'm a racist.